Sveauliu, and I live here in the town of Smithfield and stuff. And my problem is they knocked my mailbox, cut it right in half. I feel bad for the guy before me because they did a lot more damage to his. I'm second, and they just took it, chopped it right in half and everything. And when you talk to the town, the town office, you can't say manager because the town of Smithfield doesn't have a manager and stuff. So you talk to them and, oh, well, you know, they got to clear out the road and everything, but they've never done this before. I called the post office to make sure that everything was in regulation according to height and how far off the road, because the ditches here are like 4 feet. You know, the town gave us some nice ditches and everything. So if we go any more into the ditch, the mailman won't deliver our mail, you know, and stuff. So it's exactly right. He told me, nope, there's nothing wrong with your mailbox. It was perfect. And if he could see it, I'm sure the plow could turn around and see it because they're higher up. And my mail just went off flying and stuff. And I says, well, if somebody touches my mail and takes my mail out of my mailbox, that's a federal offense. And the guy turned around and says, oh, no, well, he didn't literally, you know, get in there and touch it with his hand. It's still his vehicle. He's still responsible for his vehicle. Just like everyone in the state of Maine are supposed to have insurance to drive. Well, they subcontract, so to them it's not their problem, we subcontract. But if you talk to them, well, no, it's not our problem because it's our responsibility to clear the road. So nobody, I even talked to the town's attorney, and his answer was, well, the town of Smithfield didn't call me, so there's nothing I can do about it. So, of course, I made a video on View With Me on YouTube, posted it up there, and 99.3 turned around and says, easy, all you have to do is call the police and you know, file a complaint and everything against them. But the state police, because we have to call the state police here in Smithfield, we don't have the town police. So I called him up and he says, well, there's nothing we can do. In his town, the town does take care of it, but in our town they don't. And there's nothing he can do and everything because it wasn't their intent. To me, every driver who drives here in Smithfield can say, well, hey, I'm Smithfield. It wasn't my intent. You know, so why are we paying insurance if it's not their intent? You know, it just doesn't make no sense. To me, if I get in an accident, I cause damage, I got to pay. And it should be no different for them than anybody else. So some rules in Augusta really need to be made and changed so that the towns are held responsible just like we are, and so the town of Smithfield doesn't hide behind their authority, you know, to get away with all of this, because they're just hiding behind it. Oh, no, we don't have to. I don't know what more to turn around and tell you, but it's just unfair, because mine got clipped in half. He had put extra posts to get his up, and he's got it in a bucket with sand for the winter, and to me, it's a crime. You know, it's an accident. We all have accidents. We got to pay. They need to pay. Simple as that. The rules should be fair for everybody. And that's the way the laws ought to be made, because apparently some towns do, some towns don't. So I hope that Augusta gets the hint, Governor LePage gets the hint, that we need to change this law to make it equal for all.
How many times has this happened?
Well, this winter, 3 times it got hit, but just a door, because they don't shut it. So my son's always had to go and put new screws in. But this time here, they just clipped it all off. You know, and the neighbor, I feel bad. I'm glad that's not the one he brought me, because he's the one who picked up my mailbox and brought it to me, and it's like, oh my God, right in half. You know, I can't afford that. It takes my right to just come to the end of the mailbox here at the end of the driveway and put my mail, you know, and pay them every month, instead of having to go to town, because Northrup is 7 miles away that way. If I go to Smithfield, 7 miles that way. So to me, as a disabled person, it takes my right away from being able to just pay my bills and have it done. You know, and that's not right either. They have no right to take my right away.
And what disabilities do you have, Lois?
Well, I have degenerative bone disease. I have osteoporosis. I have rheumatoid arthritis. My bones are between the ages of 90 to 100 years old, according to the bone scan. I have COPD. I have asthma, high blood pressure. I got a list of them. You know, and to me, that this was more convenient. The beginning of winter, I collect all my stamps. Somebody's going down the driveway or up the driveway who visit, hey, put this in the mailbox for me. You know, and that made it easy. Now I have to ask somebody, oh, can you go 7 miles down to town that way or 7 miles that way in order to pay my bills every month? And that's not right. Or even to get them now, because I have the mailbox. So that's taken my rights away, and it's against, to me, it's against the law. All of it's against the law.
And what does it say to you personally that the town won't replace any damage whatsoever to your mailbox?
Personally, it says, why am I paying taxes? I'm paying property taxes. I pay my taxes every year. I'm not paying my taxes for them to damage my property. So to me, it's unfair. I mean, there's no fairness. Where's the justice in this? There's no justice. It's like it's taken everything away.
Out of pocket, how much do you have to spend, at least this winter, on repairs or even replacing your mailbox?
I have none. I'm on a fixed income. I don't have money for this. I don't have it. There's none. By the time I'm done with my mortgage and my regular bills, there's nothing else. There's none.
Dave, anything else?
Another thing is, if you do get money to replace your mailbox, would you go to something like some of your neighbors have ones that are higher and on a chain so that it doesn't?
Oh
It's not
yeah.
a post.
I turned around. I told the attorney. I says, well, you know what? If I have to do this again, I'm going to cement it. So the next time they turn around and hit, they'll find themselves in that nice ditch they're in. He says, oh no, you can't do that, you know. But it was just, you know, trying to make a point to him that, hey, you know, this is wrong, you know. I wouldn't do that, but you know, because I know it's wrong. But yeah, a thing with the chain and everything, that'll probably work a lot better than these posts. But these were really nice posts. But that's what I'm stuck with.
And you mentioned some of your disabilities, Joyce, and not getting into too much detail, but I know that degenerative bone disease and osteoporosis can age you. How old are you now?
I'll be 60 in a couple months.
Anything else, Dave?
I think so.
If you could say anything, what would you say to town of Springfield about how they've treated you regarding this issue?
I think that the first selectman is a very, very rude person, and that he needs to be replaced. He really needs to be replaced because he's very rude. He's the one that gave me the hardest time on fighting it all, and you know, my trying to say, hey, you know, you guys did this. You need to replace this. And he was just nasty and rude. That, to me, that one's got to go. And maybe the town needs a manager.
There's two more questions. How long have you lived here?
Since 1985.
And last one. Considering all that has taken place over the years and this winter, does this all feel like a slap in the face to you?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This really is. This is really bad. You know, because I've done very good. I used to, when I was more able, volunteer at the schools. I used to do crafts, holiday crafts with the kids at school and everything. I've always been a community volunteer on different things and stuff. And this is what I get in return. You know, it really is. It is. It's sad.